let's do a podcast.
Okay. Podcast mode.
All right. Podcast is now started. This is the podcast now.
I just feel like this is like command line feedback here.
Yes.
Run. Podcast. Run.
podcast.exe. Go to 10.
Syntax error.
Welcome, everybody, to whatever this is. Don't get your hopes up.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Josh Allen, a.k.a. Lore. Joined, as always, by Mr. Mike Fony, a.k.a. B.
Whoop.
Whoop. Maybe in that order. Maybe not.
Yeah,
You'll just have to stay tuned and find out.
Oh, boy, that's the suspense builder right there.
And this is a podcast where we talk about things, much like, other podcasts. So we're really breaking out of the normal mold for this podcast.
Well, when you put it like that, jeez. God.
The difference with this podcast is we don't try at all.
There you
and
go.
It's actually sad how much we don't try.
Hey, I'm using Restream, man. That's
true. Yeah.
Yep.
You have stepped up production quality, and I spent at least an hour putting together whatever this splash graphic is that I'm using.
Oh, God.
Yeah. We're professionals.
Mm-hmm. So we have a show today about...
So we do, yeah. About all sorts of things.
We already talked about like half the good shit before the show, so...
I think, okay. I'm just gonna rip off the Band-Aid here. We need to talk about Mars Effect for the Andromulans.
The Adromulans, dude. Yeah. Yes. Oh my God, please. Yes. Oh,
but no, Mass Effect Andromeda. It came out. I have, I think, like 35 hours into the story at this point.
Fuck.
I know that I'm way ahead of you, so I'm going to not spoil things.
Thank you.
As far as I'm aware, you didn't make it past like the intro sequence, so I'm not even going to talk about what happens
I've
there.
conquered my first planet or whatever. I don't know what they call it, but
you made the thing on.
I did it thing, yeah. And then they gave me an opportunity to choose. At that point, it was the first time I felt like I actually was going to make a decision, and it was like 4 hours into the game.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess let's just start with that, really. Like, it doesn't feel, the decisions don't feel weighty in this Mass Effect for some reason. Like, it doesn't feel like, Mass Effect 1, like, you made these decisions and like some of them mattered at the time, some of them didn't. But even then, like, even before like Mass Effect 2 came out and you kind of realize like, oh, okay, if I kill the Arachnite Queen, then this doesn't happen in Mass Effect 2, but if I let the Arachnite Queen live, then in Mass Effect 2, there's the lady on Ilios, the Asari on Ilios, who's like, the Arachnite is out there and they haven't forgotten and they like you, and you're like, oh, cool, that's kind of a far-reaching thing. Yeah, but even at the time,
such a simple but such a cool thing, though.
Yeah, and even at the time, like, I sat there and agonized over that decision for the first time, like the first time I was playing that, for like 20 minutes probably. Like, do I let him live because do I let her live because it's bad to exterminate an entire species? But I guess previously they were trying to kill all other species, so this is sort of like, holy shit, this is a serious decision. I'm about to determine whether or not this species exists anymore or not. Until Mass Effect 3, where it doesn't matter. Yeah, and so like you don't really come across that much in Andromeda. Like, I'll be straightforward, I haven't come across that really at all. There's a couple of things that I've been like, oh shit, okay, yeah, this is an actual like serious decision that I've actually had to make here, but that didn't happen until I was like 20 hours into the storyline.
Right.
And I won't spoil what it is because it's a huge fucking spoiler. But can I even?
No, don't. Just yeah, okay. No. You've already said enough. It's
okay.
It's a major decision that didn't occur until 20 hours in.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And like that has actually had an effect on the game in subtle ways since then, which is cool. But for the most part, like my issue with Andromeda, and this is something that's been getting better as time is going on. Like there's 2 of my crew members that are kind of fighting right now. And so like, oh, okay, cool. Finally some fucking tension in this game.
Yeah.
Because up until this point, it's been like, oh, hey, Ryder. Hey, you've just been made Pathfinder like 20 seconds ago. But I guess we're all okay with that. We'll do anything and everything you say without questioning it whatsoever. Sure, your qualifications are that you did guard duty before, but whatever, Ryder, it's fine. You're the Pathfinder now, and I'm sure that the previous Pathfinder, I'm trying to avoid spoilers as much as possible here. The previous Pathfinder had utmost faith in you, so it must have been the right decision. Not just that you were the handy one at the time sort of thing. Like, my God, like seriously, like the fact that Cora isn't fucking furious at me constantly and I haven't had to like talk her down off the roof for not getting the job that she was supposed to get because she didn't happen to be there when the previous Pathfinder was like, time for a new one. Like it annoys me. Like I feel like in Mass Effect, I should be having to talk my way through things. That was a big part of what I liked about the series before, and I'm just not getting that in Andromeda.
Yeah, I get that too. I feel like what I feel like with Shepard was with Shepard, it was very high contrast decisions that you can make. Like even in just like general dialogue. Which allowed people to go in and do either thing. Also, you were an established, badass already, and so you kind of come into this with some level of authority. And so with Ryder, he's kind of a noob at this whole thing, right? And so every time I'm like, when I want to make a decision that I feel is like, maybe a little bit harsh or a little bit direct, he kind of pussyfoots around it, and it pisses me off, because I know I would have said it like this. It's like, hey, stop fucking off, do this. And he's just like, hey, guys, maybe we should just like not do that. And I'm like, what? Who is this guy? You're not going to lead like this.
See, I have the opposite. I have the opposite reaction, but in the same exact way. Like, I normally like to be like I fucking communicate for a living, right? Like, figuring out ways to phrase things that are going to get people to do what I want them to do, but not piss them off is kind of like, that's my jam. Like that gets me going. You know what I'm saying? Like that's So when I'm like in like the issue I often have, and I actually had this regularly in the original Mass Effect series, is like the thing would say, like, tell him that he's wrong, and I'd be like, oh, it's the Paragon option. So obviously, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be like, well, actually, think about it from this perspective. If you look at it from the other shit, blah blah blah, like it'll just be like sugar coated a bit, but put it in a way that's very clear. And like in my head, I've already thought of what those words are. Yeah. And then I click the thing, and it's like, you're a fucking idiot. I hope you die in a fire.
See,
it's like, holy
that's
shit, that wasn't what I
meant. Whoa.
So like in Andromeda, every fucking answer you can pick is it's always the well, I mean, really, you should think about this a little bit more sort of answer. It's never it never is that shut the fuck up and just go shoot some people sort of answer. Yeah. And so for me and that kind of ruins the enjoyment of the happy, like the pussyfoot answer for me, because like I liked being able to go, no, I picked that answer because that was what that answer was. When they're all that answer, then I'm like, it kind of doesn't even matter.
Yeah. I wonder if anyone does a comparison, like in major dialogue choices, especially the ones that have like 4 different responses, of the different responses, to see just how varying they are. Because, in each you're given a choice to make a decision or to reply a certain way. There's really only so many different things you can say, right? Because you can't really, especially in like a normal side dialogue, you can't really have any impactful dialogue choices because it's just a side thing, So just about all the 4 choices should basically say the same thing, just a little bit different. So I'm curious, like how far they've gone with that, with each written dialogue or spoken dialogue. But
Yeah, like I was talking to Shizzle, and like I was sort of complaining that Cora has just been nice to me the entire time, and always been like, "Yeah, I mean, I'm really sad that I don't get to be Pathfinder, but you're gonna do great. I believe in you, and you're gonna be really good despite your complete lack of qualifications. I just know it."
Just like your
And
father.
Shizzle was like, "Yeah, exactly." And Shizzle was like, "No, she's been fucking pissed at me." So I kind of think like just like general character tone is probably influenced a bit,
Huh, okay.
but there seems to be no gameplay around it. Like the dialogue gameplay that was in the previous Mass Effect games was a huge draw of the series for me, because I like playing that sort of like when I play D&D, I tend to max out charisma and then I max out bluff, because I want to be able to be like, actually, what you should do right now is give me all your clothes and then roll a die. And I I rolled a 3, but that's fine because I have a plus fucking 47 to my bluff. So now they believe me that they should give me all their clothes. And then the GM is just sitting there like, fuck. Like that's the sort of way that I play role-playing games typically. Yeah. And you don't often get that in a computer type or a video game, because like it kind of requires a little bit of extra creativity on the part of the storyteller. And in this case, the storyteller is a pre-created, like I'm not like sitting there telling BioWare what I would like to do next, and then some developer is like, okay, hang on, let me code that into the game real quick, right? Like it has to already exist in some capacity, so you don't often get that in a video game. But I felt like the original Mass Effect series scratched that itch for me, and I'm just really not getting that in Andromeda much. I'm getting it here and there, but for the most part, it seems to. There was a couple of characters that were having an argument at one point. I'm going to be as vague as possible here, but I do kind of have to talk about it a little bit.
Sure.
A couple of characters that are having an argument, and the way it's sort of presented was giving me not the same really, but similar vibes to, like, you remember in Mass Effect 2 where wow, why can I not remember either of the character names? The two girls have a fight.
Well, like a Jack and Jack and Miranda.
Jack and Miranda, yes.
They get into it. Yep.
Yeah, they have a fight, and then you have to pick one of their sides basically during that fight. And then at the end of it, the one that you pick their side is happy with you, and the other one, like, you need to get some serious Paragon or Renegade to get them back on your side, because you need to.
You pretty much
really
lose. Yeah, if you had anything good going with them, you pretty much lose at that point.
Yeah, and so that was kind of the feeling I was getting with this situation. Like, oh shit, this is going to be like one of those. And it got to the point where it was like, who do you want to side with here? I'm like, fuck, okay, I guess I'll side with this guy. The other one just was like, all right, fine, do what you want, but I'm really mad about this, and like stormed off. And I was like, yes, finally some like weighty decisions that I had to make here. And so then the guy whose side I picked was like, thanks for sticking up for me, it really means a lot. And then I went and talked to the other guy, and he was just like, hey, how can I help? I'm like, what? Like, he just completely forgot that the conversation even happened. I'm like, Jesus Christ, come on. Like, this guy at the very least should have introed with, I guess we're screwed now, or something like that. Like, I don't know. It's an issue. And like I say, it's getting better as time goes on, and I'm starting to run into more of those like actual serious decisions. And there is at least one really big one that I've come across so far.
Sure.
It's just, it doesn't, I don't know. There's something that I always liked about the Mass Effect series. And even though it was super easy to actually do, there wasn't really any like anything special involved in it. But I liked being able to go, all right, I have been punching babies for the past like 10 hours of gameplay, and now this couple is having an argument about whether or not they should get diabetic or get antibiotics. Diabetic, whether they should get antibiotics for their kid. And I'm just going to walk up and shout at them, and then they're going to get over it and move on with their day. And now I've finished a little quest. Hooray. Like that felt good to go through the process, even though it was always pretty much the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also kind of like, there were a lot of issues with the Paragon Renegade system in that it did sort of make you, like, it sort of railroaded you into certain decisions.
Yeah, or you get like a bland ending or something.
Yeah, like, if you wanted to play Paragon, you had to free the Rachni. And if you wanted to play Renegade, you had to kill it.
Right.
That was just how that worked. And there was every once in a while there was something that you could like. There was especially in Mass Effect 2, they introduced a few things where it's like, this is an active ability where you can do something nice for somebody and it's going to give you some Paragon points, but you're not going to miss out on Renegade for having done that. But still, like, that was an overall problem with the system. But I do miss it to some extent.
Sure.
Because I feel like the second time I play Andromeda, it's going to be the exact same game.
Yes, yeah, that's the biggest issue that I'm thinking is probably going to happen as I progress. I'm not going to want to go back and play it again. Even when I went back and played Mass Effect 1 and 2 again, my choices weren't that different, but it was different enough that I was able to have a different, completely unique experience for the most part. Like, there were certain decisions where I was just like, yeah, well, that person needs to die. So, and there's just he's never, in no dimension is this person going to live with me. All right. It's just not going to happen. And so that was just kind of the thing. And so, but I still ended up ultimately having kind of a unique experience, and that's what made it fun. I've played more multiplayer than I have single player. And I think we should talk about that because you and I have played it, I think, a couple times now.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't put as much multiplayer in as you have because I've been focusing primarily on the single player. But I have played it a little bit. And it is really fun.
It's no surprise because, like, if you like Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, then you will love Mass Effect Andromeda multiplayer. Unless you can't get over like some of the mechanic. Initially, it was kind of funky because I kept on running up to cover and then jumping over it because spacebar actually now is a jump, and before in Mass Effect 3, it was your activate cover ability, or go into cover ability.
It's just automatic. You don't have to press a button to go into cover.
Right. Yeah. But other than that, like, the gameplay still feels good. It is still challenging. And you still get credits that you could buy, like crates or whatever for, but the crates aren't even that big of a deal for me because all that happens is you get a crate, you open it up, you get something better, repeat this a number of times, and then now bronze starts to get easy, and then you move up to silver, and then you move up to gold, and then you move up to whatever. And for me, it's like, well, I could be playing with awesome gear at platinum and have the same difficulty curve and setup as I would playing with my shit gear in bronze. And so for me, it's like, it's kind of a stretch, like, for me to really be that concerned about, the crates and you purchase whatever EA points, whatever the fuck they're called, Andromeda points or whatever. That's kind of a non-issue for me, because you could just have the same difficulty by playing, one step above what you're at. But what I like about it is that it ties into single player.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's a really, I felt like Mass Effect 3's I liked the co-op. I love the co-op in Mass Effect 3. Even though you could get I forget what they called it, but some kind of currency or point system for the end game, like readiness points or something. Even though you could gain that, it didn't necessarily feel that tied into the single player camp at all, really. But in Andromeda, you actually have a console that you could walk up to, and then you could deploy your teams out, similar to like in WoW, you could send out teams that do things.
There's even an app.
There's even an app. But the thing is, like, I could then choose to go and participate myself. Now, I haven't done that yet, so I actually don't know if that's participate as your writer, which I doubt.
It's not, no.
Yeah, okay, I figured it wasn't. But still, like, the fact that I could be playing, and usually my hours spent, in Andromeda are like running around their version of the Citadel. I forget what it's called. Hyperion or something? Oh, okay. Nexus. I run around that all day and just basically do all the little side quests and talk to all the people and everything. And so it's like, oh, time for some combat. I could just jump into multiplayer and just do that. Or a strike team or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I haven't really found out I haven't figured out exactly what the benefit is of doing those for the single player. Like, you get some crates, like some resources, I guess, which you can then use to like research stuff in the single player, which is cool and all. But because I kind of hate the crafting, I have so many resources anyway, so I'm not too worried about it.
Are you just relying on like found weapons for upgrades instead of trying to make stuff?
So I'm playing Vanguard in the
Mhm.
single player. I crafted a shotgun ages ago and have yet to find anything better. At some point, I'll go and craft a better version of the same shotgun, but I'm just
Yeah.
wrecking face with it anyway. So
Yeah.
I've been like, maybe I should bump up the difficulty, like sort of thing.
Yeah. For me, it's like there's a couple of like the some of the armor, some of the other faction armor looks pretty cool. So it's like, yeah, I would like to see that on my character. And that was for me. I'm the same way. Like if I get a weapon set that works, then that I could use that for the rest of the game. Like regardless of the situation, it's like, oh, you need a sniper rifle for this. It's like, fuck that. I'll fucking fly over there, find some way to get over there and shoot him in the dick. Like, yeah, I don't need a sniper rifle for this. But yeah, once I get a good set going, then that's it. That's all I use. Everything else is basically cosmetic. Like once I get and then once I find a gear set that I feel like is like that's the penultimate, like that's it. That's what I want. Then I'm pretty much done with that too. So
Yeah.
Shizzle was saying that there is a because I haven't experimented with crafting, but apparently you can actually add like tertiary stats or something like that, or secondary stats that add an additional bonus to make what you've crafted unique, and I think that is cool.
Yeah, like the shotgun that I crafted, part of what I did when I made it was I added a mod in that gave it 2 extra mod slots, so I can put 4 mods into it, which is part of why it's so good.
Right, yeah.
And so like having it's kind of, it is cool. The crafting is interesting. It just like for me, I would rather be spending that time going and fighting things, and I haven't like I probably just need to bump up the difficulty because basically what's happened at this point for me is, like I said, I'm playing Vanguard, which means I have the charge ability as well.
Of course, the trademark ability.
Yeah. It default it recharges half of your shields. Well, I have upgraded it all the way, so now it fully recharges my shields. I've also spec'd into Biotic Barrier or whatever it's called, which means that my shields are just passively even better. And of course, it still recharges 100% of my shields every time I charge. So it's now recharging this massive extra shield.
Jesus.
I found a mod for my chest piece that reduces my health by 50%, but increases my shields by 50%.
Okay, so you have like 300% shield or something at this point, or
yeah, and then I'm wearing a whole bunch of pieces of gear that just have bonuses to shields on them.
Wow.
And I have spec'd, and some of my pieces of gear also have bonuses that reduce the cooldown time on my biotic abilities. So I literally, basically, this is what I do. I have
you win max, clearly.
Yeah, I have a Krogan hammer for my melee weapon, which is like, it's like the basic melee weapon, but it's like this big wind up, does a shit ton of damage. And I'm at the moment working on buffing up its damage even more. So I charge somebody, I melee them, they're dead. I can then immediately charge somebody else, melee them, they're dead. And so I literally, whenever I get into a fight, it's just boom, boom.
Damn, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's really, really fun because I'm just pinging around all over the place, fucking murdering people. And then every once in a while I run into a fiend or something, which takes a minute to kill, but all I end up doing at that point is charge them, jump up into the air, hover for a second, charge them again to recharge my shields, like literally just standing in front of them, recharging my shields the entire time. And so now, basically, now that I could do that, I'm like, I guess I just don't need to worry about the crafting anymore because I don't need it.
Yeah, they don't incentivize you to do it by scaling or something where it's like, okay, I'm going to need to go and grind something out in order to get this, which would kind of suck by itself too. Then yeah, there's no real incentive to actually doing it. I think really if there was a way for them to if they had a system in there where you can maybe see or feel like how these things are, like a firing or test range or something. If you could go to some kind of like shooting range or whatever where you could test these things out, that would be a great way to get people to unlock new things, because that's part of the gamble. You know, it's like I see these weapons and I see the stats. It's like, okay, but how does it feel? You know, like how does, and this is not just Mass Effect. This is like an every game thing. It's like if I have resources, I can't, like in WoW, like, oh, I'm gonna craft this armor. Okay, I could see what it looks like. I could see it on my character. You know, like on my character. Like in Mass Effect, it's like floating there, and I'm like, well, okay, that looks great, but what's it look like on my character? And with like weapons and such, it's like, yeah, I want to know how it feels before I, commit all these resources that I've been gathering for, hours or whatever, to building it. That's part of the reason why I just stay kind of pigeonholed into like one, maybe 3 weapons, maybe a long range and then a shotgun and then, or a pistol and then an AR. And that's pretty much, I'm usually set with that.
At one point I crafted a pistol and I picked up a pretty good assault rifle, and I almost used those for a little while. And then I finished buffing up my charge, and now I'm like, well, I guess I don't need those anymore. It's just charge, melee, and if they're still not dead, shotgun, charge the next guy.
There you go. See?
And it's still really fun. Like, don't get me wrong, it's really fucking fun, but it does get a bit silly. Talking about the multiplayer again, though, I'm curious what your thoughts are on the way you unlock characters, because like having to, like, if I want to play a Krogan Vanguard, which I want to play a Krogan Vanguard, I kind of have to hope that I get it in a box, I guess.
Yeah, so the thing is, the cheapest boxes, which you could get like 4 of or something like that if you like win a bronze, like 4 or 5 of them if you just win a bronze, it's like 5,000 credits each, and you get like 20 to 25,000, I think, for winning a bronze. Those ones basically just dish out characters.
Okay.
So that to me is a non-issue, because you could buy it with the cheap ones, or you could just buy a bunch of the cheap ones and get a number of things unlocked. I still think it's kind of silly that you can't just choose one and then use it. Like, I think maybe it's just a way to keep people relegated to just, here's like 5 good starting all-arounders for their class,
Yeah, and like it kind of seems like they're using the characters as a balance mechanic. Like, we should probably not let people stack all of the shield buffs and then charge. I'm like, okay, fine. But I keep catching myself thinking like, oh man, I'm having so much fun with this. I can't wait to do this in multiple. Oh, I can't.
Exactly.
There's also a story spoiler in the multiplayer if you poke around in it too much.
I haven't poked around much, but they do introduce a character that you don't see for a minute. And that didn't take any poking. I just basically like got in and I was like, oh, what's that thing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like, all right.
I want to what character would I like to play? Oh, there's this one. Oh, what is that one?
I've never seen that before. Spoilers. There it is.
Yeah. I was a little bit annoyed by that. But it's fine. Like the way that it's revealed in game is honestly a little bit lame. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I didn't actually miss out on much as a result.
Yep.
So that's Mass Effect. I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it more the more that I play it. And I think part of that is the more I play it, the less I'm judging it by what the original series was, and the more I'm judging it by what it actually is.
That's fair. Yeah. And I think one thing before we move on that we should mention, otherwise we might get like mauled. The animations do suck.
They do.
They're pretty terrible. But after several hours of running around the Nexus and whatever, like doing all these like side missions, I kind of got over it. But occasionally something will happen, and I'll just be like, oh god, like it's just bad. They did say that on April 4th they're gonna have an announcement they're going to make, or a statement or something where they're going to discuss that's related to feedback they've gotten about the game. Now, I haven't heard anybody talk about anything necessarily like overtly negative and twisted and weird and dumb about the plot, so it's probably not story related. All the negative feedback I've heard about the game, outside of a few like fringe cases, is pretty much that the animations are like 2010.
Yeah,
and like they're very clear, like inarguably, like completely inarguably, they're not up to date. When you look at a game like Witcher 3 or any other game that's come out in the past several years, or like ones that have like a dialogue and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I hope that's something that they're going to look at and they're going to actually address, because that's I think it's a pretty big deal for people who are maybe just can't get over that. you know?
Yeah, it is worth mentioning just for like anyone who hasn't played it yet because they've heard the animations are bad or they've seen YouTube videos on it. The animations are usually not nearly as bad as what you see in the YouTube videos. Usually the videos are either someone just happened across some weird bug and wow, that was fucking weird. Or like particularly the ones where you see the main character walking and they're walking really weird. Most of the time the walking is fine, but especially if you're playing on PC and you can mash the left and right strafe buttons, you can make your legs do some weird shit.
Yeah.
And that's someone doing that on purpose. So, but yeah, the animations, they're not good. There's some weird shit. Like sometimes you walk up to talk to somebody and it just stares at the wall behind them, which is weird.
Yeah.
It's not something that to me personally is enough to make me not want to play the game. I'm still really enjoying it regardless. But if it is the sort of thing that would bother you, then yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm. But that's
so yeah, that is those are our Mass Effect words. I can't wait to finish it and find out which colors I get to choose between.
Oh man. How mad.
Although frankly, so far that would be more of a decision than I've made through the rest of the game.
Damn.
So speaking of science fiction shooter games, it wouldn't be this show if we didn't find any excuse possible to talk about Destiny.
Yeah, it's true. Man, that's true.
We actually have a really good excuse to talk about Destiny today. Because they just today actually officially announced Destiny 2. Well, I guess they'd announced it already, but like they had their first big reveal for Destiny 2. They opened up pre-orders.
Yep.
And the most exciting part of that is it's coming to PC.
Yes, that is huge.
I'm excited about this.
Yeah, just the fact that it's coming on PC, it's something that's a major blocker for a lot of people. And you know, it was one of the reasons why I was reluctant to jump into I think it was Rise of Iron. Because I was just tired of like, especially, you know, as a streamer, because it's like, I'm not going to be able to play that shit on my own. So it's like, I might as well stream it. But then I have to hook up the capture card and all this stuff. And I haven't used that stuff in forever. I don't even know if it works. Right. So it's like, I'm so thrilled that it's coming to PC. It means I can finally sell my PS4 or move it downstairs, you know, and use it to play SteamWorld Dig or something like that whenever I feel like it. But yeah, I'm excited, and honestly, I think the trailer does a really great job.
Oh my god, yeah!
Of kind of setting a new tone that I'm hoping they continue within the actual game.
Yes, yeah, Destiny. Like, part of the reason that I'm only slightly on that, like, the part of the reason that I'm a bit skeptical that that's what they're actually doing is because they kind of tried to do that with Destiny at launch as well. Like, you remember the live action trailers that they had? Mm-hmm. Where it was like just a fire team of like 3 people, and they were like, "Oh, I guess it's time to jump into this thing and go kill some people." Whoa, holy shit! I found this cool weapon. That's great. You know, like they were kind of doing that a little bit, but I think they've figured out that like, okay, people like Cade.
Yes, yes,
Cade is good. Let's look at what we have that's good, and let's find ways to revolve around that. So like the one that they released today, which is sort of a back and forth between Cade and Zavala. And it's like, okay, now we're using Zavala to make Cade funnier, which is great. It's like that's a perfect role for Zavala in this situation
because that is he is so stone faced and just
seriously. And oh my god, it was so good. There was a very brief moment where what's her name, the Warlock leader, whose name I can never remember because she has never been interesting in the entire game, was there as well. But I think I really want them to embrace the sort of like, okay, this game is a little bit silly, and this game is mostly about just going and getting loot, because as soon as a game recognizes what it is and embraces that, even the gameplay gets better. Like everything gets better about it. Like look at Diablo 3. Like D3 launched and it was like, okay, we've got kind of this story thing, and then at the end it gets into this like super hardcore thing that's very difficult. And I guess there's this real money auction house, so maybe it's kind of a commerce game as well. Like it was kind of going in all these different directions. And then with Reaper of Souls, they were like, okay, no, our game is walk into a dungeon, beat the shit out of a million tiny monsters who have no fucking chance. Collect loot
and do it in the most absurd ways possible.
Yes, exactly.
Leap over and over again.
Yeah, exactly. Like just let people just sort of soak up the joy of guy walks into a bar, murders fucking everyone, walks into the next bar, murders everyone there too, takes their shit and moves on. Like fucking loot dropping like crazy. Like it made the game so good. And like even like a lot of people look to WoW and like Wrath of the Lich King at the point where the game went, okay, you know what? Our game is about grab some random people, do a dungeon together, beat up some shit, and you're going to win. Like it doesn't have to be are we going to be able to complete this dungeon? Like no, you're going to, and you're going to get loot in the process. And that was an expansion that people really gravitated towards as a result. And so I think if Destiny can really, really sort of take that and run with it and be like, you know what? Our game is shoot some bad guys, take their shit, put it on, shoot some harder bad guys. Like that's when the game is its most fun as well. Like the rating is really, really good. And like I really hope they come up with some sort of like Mythic Plus style system for the strikes.
Oh man.
Where it's like, okay, you have this time limit and you beat it. Congratulations. Now you get to do a harder one with a little bit better loot and so on. Like that. I would love that. I would love that so much.
Yeah, because that's something that they didn't even have. And so I didn't play Rise of Iron, but one thing that kind of killed me in the previous expansion was after you do the raids, you do all this stuff, and then it's like, all right, now you do the strikes, but you can't do the old strikes because I don't even know why. Like you couldn't do the old strikes. And you had like 7 or something, or 7, I think, strikes in the first one. Well, let's just make up numbers. There was basically, let's say there was 7 in the first expansion, the initial release, vanilla release, and then the expansion had like 5 or 7, but you couldn't play the previous 7. So now when you go in and you go to the random bullshit to go and do a strike, you're just doing those ones. You never get to see the old ones again. Now, I don't know if they end up fixing that, but that totally killed my buzz about the game because I wanted to do, I wanted to take all this new shit that I got into the old strikes, and I don't even care if it was easier, because of my new awesome gear. Like I just wanted to go and just do it and get credit for it or whatever. But yeah, I hope that that's something that they, in Destiny 2, they take that approach, like you said with the gear, like torment or gear scaling or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, something like that. Like, I don't know, just some sort of way to keep that content relevant. And honestly, like I really liked what was it called? The Prison of Elders as well. I thought that was really, really fun. Like I could see how people that farmed it like crazy would get tired of it eventually. My approach to Destiny has always been to play it pretty casually. Like the most serious I got about it was when we were raiding King's Fall or whatever it's called.
We did Vault of Glass too.
I didn't do Vault of Glass.
You didn't? Oh, that's right. Yeah, because you were like a week late or something.
Yeah, seriously,
and everybody was already done.
The thing I'm the most excited about for Destiny 2 is that they're releasing it almost a month earlier, which means I actually have a chance to fucking play the game. They keep releasing at the end of September. And it's like, shit, this is now going into the month of like, this is when all of the regional events for World of Warcraft happen. This is when I'm like crunching to get ready for BlizzCon. Fuck, I have no time to play this. But now they're releasing it like almost a month earlier. So it's like, shit, I can fucking level. I can like, I can get to max I can take time off. Like, I can actually, shit, I'm gonna, tomorrow I'm actually gonna put in a time off request to be like, I don't care what's happening this time. I am playing Destiny.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so fucking excited. Like I've been even prior to this announcement today, I've been sort of like, man. So I'm in the middle of video game hell at the moment, which is first world problem video game hell. In that I finished Legend of Zelda. Well, I defeated Ganon in Legend of Zelda. I didn't finish it.
Nobody
Finishes that
Breath
game.
of the Wild, yeah.
I've been trying to get some I had been trying to get some Horizon Zero Dawn in because that game is so fucking good too. But then Andromeda came out and I kind of decided, okay, you know what? I need to be playing Andromeda because there's going to be spoilers floating around. And so I need to at least keep up with the curve on Andromeda.
Sure.
I don't care as much if like Breath of the Wild, I didn't really care about spoilers too much in, and the spoilers, there's nothing to spoil.
Well, I mean, when you say I defeated Ganon and you're referring to a Legend of Zelda game, there really is no spoilers there.
Yeah, exactly. And like Horizon, I'd like to avoid spoilers for, which is why I haven't been streaming it when I am playing it. But I'm not as worried about it. But Mass Effect, I was like, okay, I cannot be spoiled on Mass Effect. I cannot. That is, and I've based on what I've experienced so far, even though I'm still a little bit meh on the story overall, I'm very glad that I have not had the couple of things spoiled that have happened so far.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm being so careful in my phrasing.
Thank you.
And then after that, so after I finish Mass Effect, I probably won't do a second playthrough right away. I will at some point, but I probably won't do one right away. I'll probably go finish Horizon, and then I really want to play Nier Automata.
Yes. Oh my god, I need to play that. The game was fucking made for me, dude. I need to play that game.
Dude, Olivia's been playing it, and so this doesn't happen. Olivia's been playing it, and every single day she's like, come into, because we have our computers in separate rooms now, so that, for example, I can do this podcast while she goes to bed.
There you go.
She'll come into where my computer is and be like, you really need to play this game. This game is really good and you really need to play it. That doesn't happen. I don't get video game recommendations from Olivia because like, and it's not that she doesn't like video games or that she doesn't think I would be interested in games. It's just that usually if she's aware of a game, like I'm just a lot more of a hardcore gamer than she is, I guess. Is a fair way to put it. I play a lot more games than she does. So usually if she's aware of a game, I'm also aware of that game and I'm also probably already playing it. And this is not one of those cases. And she's been like, no, this game is really fucking good and you really need to play this game. And I'm like, shit, okay. If I'm getting that level of a recommendation from you, I know this game is good. So, like, those aren't words that she throws around lightly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I will often be like, yeah, Breath of the Wild is a really good game. I don't think you'd like it. And she'd be like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like, Horizon is a good game. Yeah, I think you'd probably like it. Like, okay, cool. Mass Effect Andromeda. Yeah, I'm really, really liking it. You would fucking hate this game. Like, okay, cool. Yeah. When she finds a game that she really, really likes, I'm like, okay, I'm going to like that game no matter what. So at some point, what was I? Oh, the reason that I went on this whole story was just to say that I've been like looking at my Destiny Edition PS4 that sits on my desk and thinking like, fuck, I never played Rise of Iron. I want to at least go through like the leveling in Rise of Iron. But I have too many other games to play.
Too many. Yep. Yeah, that's the problem right now, is that there's so many games, and then like, and currently I'm like hooked on Oxygen Not Included still. And they just had a new update where they basically added a ton of content and changed the entire gameplay meta. So yeah, like now it's like, okay, now I have another reason to go and play some more, right? But
I still haven't played it.
Yeah.
I bought it. I haven't even launched it.
Well, good. You gotta keep that trend going with Clay Games.
Yeah. I'll just watch you play it instead. I basically just buy the game in order to support them for all the entertainment I'm getting from watching you play it.
But yeah, no, it's I need to finish Andromeda because I owe it to myself, as a Mass Effect fan. obviously we've been critical of the trilogy because of the ending mostly, but appreciative of the journey to get there. And I want to see if this journey is gonna live up to what I felt like, which is difficult because you really connect with because once you've already connected with Shepard, now you're in that game, but you're not Shepard, so it's like, oh, now I gotta connect to this other person, and if it was any other game, you could probably do it because you kind of remove yourself and connect, but yeah, so it's, I don't know, I want to continue playing. I want to get to like where you're at, where I'm making serious decisions, and eventually beat the game.
Yeah, and like I think the more I'm playing Andromeda, the more I'm starting to recognize that it's a different game set in the Mass Effect universe, and it's very much an open world title as a result. Mm-hmm. So like you finished the outpost on Eos, you were saying. The other planets that you go to are even more sort of open, drive around, find shit to do.
Nice. Mine something here and there.
Yeah, mine something here and there. Like, oh, you just been driving around and you came across some dudes that are fighting, and oh, when you killed the dudes that were fighting, because obviously, and then you found a data pad, and all of a sudden that data pad gave you a quest to go do some other stuff. So there's a lot of that sort of gameplay to it. Mm-hmm. Which is what I've been really liking, and you can really start to get into this groove of like, okay, I'm gonna go to this planet, I'm gonna do fucking everything on this planet. Yeah. Yeah, it's honestly it's a really good game. It's just really good for reasons that aren't the reasons that the previous Mass Effect games were good.
Okay. Well, then I will keep pushing forward.
Mm-hmm. And also the multiplayer is fun.
Yes. Agreed.
So speaking of pile of games that are on my list of this needs to take up all of my time, I should at least mention that World of Warcraft patch 7.2 came out in the midst of all this as well.
Yeah, a great time to come out.
Yeah. There needed to be more releases right now. What was super cool about that is that I got to announce the launch date for it, which I was like, dude, I just got to announce the launch date for a fucking massive WoW patch. That's kind of cool.
Like in the Blue Post?
No, it was actually, so we did a live Q&A with Ryan Schwader, who was the basically the content supervisor for the patch. And we were answering a whole bunch of questions, and then at the end of it, we were like, okay, and now we got a special surprise for you, and we played the cinematic for it.
Nice.
We revealed the cinematic, which is fucking wonderful, by the way.
I saw it. It's good.
Yeah, it's really good. That team of guys, well, it's actually a very diverse team, actually, thinking about it. But the in-game cinematics team is fucking amazing. They're seriously the best in the industry at specifically what they do. And then after we played the cinematic, we got to announce the date. And Ryan sort of teed it up. He was like, yeah, it's coming out next week. And I was like, yup, patch 7.2 releases on March 28th.
Did you use that voice?
This spring, technically.
I bet you didn't use that voice.
I should have. That would have been a good idea.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Next time. Next time you get to make a major content patch announcements.
Yeah. So yeah, patch 7.2 came out. It's kind of funny in a kind of bad way. There's actually a lot of, because a lot of the content it's set up on this like 11-week rollout, right? Yeah. So like next week there's a whole bunch of content that comes out. The week after that there's a whole bunch of content that comes out, and
which then struck some people as strange, because some people like take time off to basically sit down and they want to go through and complete whatever it is to complete.
Yeah, exactly. Like we've Blizzard for the longest time, like even before I was at Blizzard, for the longest time, patch comes out means I've got a ton of shit to do. And so over the past nearly 13 years now, WoW players have kind of been trained to, patch came out, I should log in and do all of the new stuff. And so right now, if you log in and do all of the new stuff, there's like maybe a couple hours worth of stuff to do. Probably a little bit longer than that. And if you have alts, like then it becomes a ton of time to do it, but or a ton of stuff to do because you've got so many different characters to do it on. But usually on day one, you're not saying, I guess I'll do this on my alt now. And like there's a bunch of other improvements as well. And the fact is a lot of people are still really, really deep into Nighthold. So dropping a ton of stuff on people right now, on those people specifically, I have seen people saying, oh man, I'm actually glad that this content is rolling out over a period of time. That said, totally get the complaint, like on day one of a patch, there's a lot of people who like that feeling of I've now got a shit ton of stuff to do. That's fine. I'm personally glad that that's not the case, because see previous note about having too many fucking video games to play. I'm really glad that I was able to jump into patch 7.2. I've played, I don't know, probably 8 hours of it at this point, which isn't as much as I normally would immediately after a new patch. But I sort of went, okay, I think I'm caught up on at least my mage. I think I'm in a good spot on at least my mage. I unlocked my new artifact traits. I did my Broken Shore world quests. Like I do a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to get back to Mass Effect before someone fucking spoils this game.
Yeah. I could see it going. Yeah, I could see the complaints going both ways for sure, and I see justifications in both. And it makes it a really kind of low hanging fruit. Kind of target, like if you're like, oh, there's only 2 hours of content, lol. It's like, well, that's by design. It's like, yeah, only 2 hours of content, lol. It's like, so I'm actually ultimately I'm curious, and I obviously I won't be privy to this information, but you will. What comes, because this is different, you know. Doesn't necessarily mean that this is the way it's going to be going forward. It could just mean that, hey, this is what we're doing. And if the comment or the feedback is complete and utter shit from everybody, or from a significant portion, not just a large minority, then maybe that's something you guys would change in the future. But I mean, I don't know what you guys' decision is on it, but you will definitely be getting feedback and data and stats based off of that, and you'll be able to see, especially if you look at it, like if you have an 11-week rollout. You know, it's like, look at previous patches. Okay, we've had people that played for 2 weeks, and then we had a significant fall off, right? And then you could say, okay, 11-week patch. You know, then you can also look at how much of the content they completed within that time period. And then on the flip side, right, you look at the 11-week rollout, and then it's like, okay, well, instead of, you know, in 2 weeks and 50% of the content, you know, we had a fall off. Now we have an 11-week. People fell off at 6 weeks, and they only got through 30% of the content. You know, so you guys are going to find some way to find the right balance, because ultimately you guys do want people to continue playing your guys' game long term, and the best way to do that is to.
No, we're just trying to run this game into the fucking.
I mean, it's time, man. I mean, 11, 12 years. I mean, Jesus.
Do hate having a steady job and a paycheck. I do hate that.
WoW is in junior high at this fucking point, dude.
Yeah, no, like there isn't much that I can say on this podcast or on these streams, just because like these aren't an official thing. Like I am not here in an official Blizzard capacity, basically. Of course.
Yeah.
And so this is not meant to be a location in which I give new information about World of Warcraft. But for people that have been paying attention, you can kind of tell that Legion has been an expansion of, let's just fucking try some stuff and see what happens. And there's been a lot of experimenting. Some of those experiments have gone well. Some of them haven't gone as well. Some of them started off poorly and have ended up in a better spot. And that's the sort of thing that a fucking 13-year-old game needs to do, right? Like,
absolutely, yeah.
You can't just keep we can't just release Wrath of the Lich King over and over and over again. Like, that's not gonna work. So we have to try new stuff. We have to throw new things around. We have to shit on the walls and see how sticky it is. That's not how that normally goes. But
yeah, see what sticks.
Yeah, and also you're normally not shitting directly onto the wall.
Shit on the wall and see how sticky it is. That's my favorite remix of that saying. I feel like that saying is retired now, and it's time to shit on the walls and see how sticky it is. Thank you for that.
Yeah. But yeah, and sometimes there are experiments that I don't find out about until after the patch goes live. I'm not going to say which ones those are, but it definitely has occurred lately. And that's just because of the number of experiments that are going on.
Sure. And that makes sense. Yeah. It's I think it's good that the game isn't, you guys aren't just doing the same old shit. Well, this worked in the past, let's try it again, because that doesn't work. That doesn't, especially for an 11-year-old game, it doesn't work. I think that if there was any point in the discussion,
13, man, it's 13 this November.
Whatever, dude. Sorry, I should know this. Especially
since I said it fucking 3 times. I know,
and I keep on saying 11 for no reason whatsoever. But no, it's good because so I was gonna say, if at any point during the conversation on designing this 11-week rollout, which I'm sure probably came up like months ago, it's not something that it was just done last second. That person gets like the foresight of the year award, because knowing that everybody right now is like, oh my god, there's so many games, oh my god, oh my god, there's Switch, oh my god, Breath of the Wild, oh my god, Nier, oh my god, whatever, like there's so many things. Knowing that all this stuff is kind of clustering everybody's gameplay time right now, and everybody's competing for game time. If somebody actually was like, hey guys, it's highly possible that the players are going to be spread kind of thin, maybe we should do this, that guy deserves an award.
Yeah, we did manage to accidentally release on top of a Final Fantasy patch.
Oh my god, up to your old ways, I see.
It keeps happening. And it's so funny because every time, like, the reason that we release at a certain time is because we're dodging like releases from other Blizzard titles, right? Like there's the Ungoro coming out for Hearthstone, and like there's Heroes just announced their like Heroes 2.0 thing and everything. Like we're like, oh shit, okay, so this is the only week that we can release this. This has to be right now. We have to release it right now. And then we release it, and then we find out when people complain about it that we released on top of that. We were smart enough and had the foresight to release on top of a Final Fantasy.
That's the best way of putting
we're
it.
Like, oh shit,
you guys give us too much credit.
yeah, and like it's nothing, it's not even anything. It's not even that we're ignoring Final Fantasy. There's actually a ton of people at work that play Final Fantasy. It's just that it doesn't even occur to us because we're just so head down and trying to get the fucking thing out. It's really funny. It's gonna happen. I promise. It's gonna happen again.
Oh yeah.
So
absolutely.
Final Fantasy just needs to quit releasing their shit on top of our shit.
Yeah. Did anybody think about that? Huh?
Yeah.
Maybe they're the culprits here.
Yeah, totally. So yeah. So there's some other things in this list of topics. Speaking of this list of topics, we should talk about some of these other things. So I think we actually have 2 links to the same thing in here.
Oh,
I think this and this are the same thing. But
oh yeah, they are linked. Oh sorry, and I added that the other point. Yeah. So
yeah. So you wanna just roll with this?
So if you've been paying attention to the YouTube space in terms of like YouTube personality space at any point really in the past couple of weeks, you guys probably have heard JonTron say dumb things.
Yeah, and
so he's paying for it. He's not. It's not reflected in his Twitter feed, of course. Which, you know, I get it. I guess.
Yeah.
But the TLDR is he got into a Twitter spat with Destiny, and it seemed kind of jovial and almost
Destiny,
friendly.
The former StarCraft streamer.
Yes, not the game.
Not the game. Yeah.
And he invited him on to have a debate, and it was I thought that alone I thought was super interesting, because you never really see that in this space. The fact that
like
two
you
people
have a different viewpoint than me, let's get on a thing and talk about it.
Yeah, and talk about it. Usually it's like, oh fuck you, you're done blocked or something, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So I was really happy to see that happen. Unfortunately, it didn't really work out very well for JonTron ultimately.
Yeah.
Because he made some comments that, you know, whatever. So he ended up coming out looking like an even bigger asshole. And
which is usually, to be clear, is the reason that you usually don't see people doing
that. yeah, that's true, because
when you invite someone on to have an argument with them, someone's gonna win.
Yeah.
Even if you don't at the end of it go, yeah, I guess you're right. Like, someone's gonna win in the audience's perspective.
Yeah, and you should, and just it's just true. Hana's brought this up. He says, Destiny, ironically, the guy who previously lost work for dropping N-bombs, which you and I have talked about on Twimo or something. We talked about like Game Breaker days. This was a point of discussion. Because I remember the headline. Gary made it like 144-point font. It was like, Destiny hates, or
it was the
Destiny's
words
racist ? That's right.
Race? No. There wasn't a question mark. Like, so I remember this very clearly because this was when I was working on that StarCraft 2 show. And the headline was "Racist fired!" ! And so Destiny got upset, and not unfairly, Destiny got upset because he was like, "You can't just call me a racist on your journalism site. What the fuck is this shit?" Yeah. And so then Gary was like, "Oh, I should have put a question mark at the end." And I was like, "I don't think that would have helped."
Yeah, because I remember the Destiny racist question mark. I remember that.
Yeah, I think he changed it to that like after like a fucking week and a half after Destiny was all upset about it.
It was a pretty big deal at the time for sure. But anyways, like if you'd said, yeah, not knowing that much about JonTron except for what he does in videos, and his videos, he's usually a pretty, funny, easygoing guy, right? I would have been like, oh God, what Destiny say now?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
like at first I thought, like when I first heard about this, and because I heard about it in the context of JonTron being, we'll get to it, but the shit that happened to JonTron as a result. I heard that he was on a podcast with Destiny. Not that he was arguing with Destiny on a podcast, just that he had a podcast with Destiny. And so based on that being like, basically that being my previous real understanding of Destiny, I was like, oh God, so he must have been saying some terrible shit if he invited Destiny on to say terrible shit with him. But no, like Destiny was actually legit in this thing.
Yeah, he was the voice of reason and so he the fallout that occurred with him directly was and probably other things as well, but just the one that kind of made the biggest headline initially was the fact that he had some VO parts in Ukulele, and
which is for anyone who isn't aware, it's the sort of spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie.
And so he lost the VO was taken out of that, and they made a statement saying that they don't support his statements, and therefore they made this
to be part of the game. Yeah,
exactly. And then there was a follow up to that, and this was on PvP Live. They said that advertisers, and they actually have a list. This isn't like a skeptical thing or whatever. They actually have a list of advertisers who are actually starting to pull out of YouTube as a whole, because we had the PewDiePie thing. Which is really fucked up, because the PewDiePie thing I felt like was completely blown out of proportion, and for that to get lumped in with JonTron, I feel like that's really just overall just fucked up.
I don't know. I don't think the PewDiePie thing was that blown out of proportion.
I think it's a well, okay. Well, do you want to talk about it?
I mean, I think I don't think it was as bad as what JonTron was doing, but I also don't think, like, I think saying it was blown out of proportion is kind of, I think that's a bit too far.
All right. Well, I'll say that I wouldn't put them together in the same. There's a difference between somebody saying something that I feel is completely outlandish and uninformed and just not good in general, right?
Yeah.
Versus somebody cracking a few jokes over the span of 10 videos and then having somebody farm them together to stitch together a narrative.
No, that's fair. Yeah, I can agree with that. One of them is someone being a complete fucking asshole, and the other one is someone who's trying to make jokes and doesn't stop themselves
like an
and
asshole.
goes way too far. Yeah. Yeah. One of them is someone actually being a shit tier human being, and the other one is someone accidentally being a shit tier human being by by virtue of taking jokes too far.
End
result is both still end up in that shit tier human being, but it's definitely one of them was very clearly like, this is where I want to be.
Let's just fucking just picking
one of them
heads.
dove into that shit. Fucking swan dived in there. Yeah.
So advertisers now are pulling out, and like we had the Guardian, which but Starbucks, Walmart, Pepsi, AT&T, Verizon, Volkswagen, BBC, and Johnson & Johnson, which the Johnson & Johnson actually kind of threw me off a little bit, but they do have their hands in a whole lot of companies and whatnot. So it could be just about anything.
You're talking about Johnson & Johnson and where their hands are, and you did not go the direction I thought you were going to. Huh?
I was so focused on the BBC, I wasn't even sure, But anyways,
Jesus Christ!
But yeah, they pulled out too. So
God damn it!
So yeah, so YouTube is starting to feel the hurt from this, and the thing that happened, there was a change in YouTube's algorithm, right? And I use algorithm very like loosely, right? But basically they came up with a system that can actually hear and process words, and it can make a decision based off of that. Obviously it does other things too, but we did some tests, and this is Kyle Rakin and a bunch of other people basically did tests. Specifically, Kyle Rakin uploaded a video, and he just said "fuck," and that was a video, right?
Yeah.
And it was like 5 seconds long. And after a few days, I believe it actually toggled over to if you had YouTube set to restricted mode, that video disappeared. Initially, it was there, but then it disappeared. There were certain channels that were just completely gone. Rooster Teeth talked about a little bit. I didn't hear what they said, but what I did hear about what they said was affected with. They were they were less informed than what we were based off of our testing. But still, it's definitely a change that came down, and it makes me wonder if that's kind of a reactive thing to what's going on, because and if it's something that they sped up, like especially after PewDiePie or something, where they're like, okay, we need to block, find some way to protect the kids or protect whatever. Because what ended up happening was, and this isn't on our list, but this is totally connected. They ended up restricting a bunch of like LGBT based content. And it could be because somebody said gay, and like in a world, if they're basing this off of like from a video game perspective, that's usually some kid on the Xbox 360 mic like screaming at you, and so I don't know how they flagged it, but they definitely flagged a few, and that got headlines, and that made YouTube go, whoa, no, that wasn't the intention. That's not, we have this thing, whatever, but they weren't saying shit up until that happened. And so, I wonder if this is all part of a reactionary rollout to what's going on with the advertisers and all that stuff. Basically, where they could say, "Hey, we set up precautions here, so that way, you could still advertise with us and not have to worry about being put on these types of videos."
Yeah, and I think it is important to remember that. And it's one of those things that, like, I obviously, and I've been pretty clear about my personal like political beliefs on this sort of thing throughout this, so I don't feel that I need to overly defend myself here. But it's important to remember that this is it sort of swings both ways in terms of like advertisers pulling out of things on YouTube, because companies like BBC are pulling out, lol. Companies like Johnson & Johnson are keeping their hands off, lol, of YouTube ads at this point. I can't stop. I'm sorry. Jesus Christ. Yep. They're staying away from YouTube ads. They've stopped this because of this like super racist, anti-Semitic level of bullshit that's happening with a few people.
This massive uprising of anti-Semites that have occurred.
Yeah, exactly. Like this sudden sudden make YouTube great again level of like, what the fuck are you guys actually doing? Basically idiocy. This is the sort of thing that I think most of the people that listen to this podcast, and definitely most of the people in our area of the United States, by which I mean California, which tends to lean pretty far to the left. We're like, okay, yes, good job, well done. You're speaking up against racism. You're speaking up against hate. That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's important to remember that advertisers also regularly pull out of things because it goes the other direction, because they will pull, like, fucking Hobby Lobby isn't going to take ads out. They're going to be fucking pissed off if they have an ad on someone's YouTube video where they're talking about how they support transgender or something like that, right? And like, even though
I forgot about that,
yeah, like, even though that's still a good message to get across, and even though the person who is it's one of the things that it's always easy to say, and this is the sort of thing that always makes someone sound like a jackass, so I'm trying to phrase this carefully. It's always easy to say you should be allowed to share your opinions when you agree with the opinions being shared, and it's more difficult to say that when you don't agree with those opinions. Like, it's easy for someone to say you should be allowed to be who you are in support of transgender people, and then not say you should be allowed to be who you are in support of racist douchebags. Now, I'm choosing my language here carefully to make sure that I'm constantly indicating that I very much support transgender people, and I very much think that racist douchebags are racist douchebags. So that's that, just to be absolutely 100% clear there. But I suspect we're gonna start seeing there's going to be a reaction to this sort of thing on YouTube. Right. There's going to be as time goes on and we see advertisers pulling out and saying, no, we need a system in place to say that we don't want our shit on these racist assholes channels. There are going to be people going, okay, yeah, well, now we don't want our ads on the LGBT YouTube videos. We don't want our ads on like people who like other people's channel. I don't know how to describe, like, it's easy to say we don't want our ads on hate speech channels. It's difficult to describe we don't want our ads on love speech channel. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe that. But like liberal political channels and so on. Basically, all I'm saying here is that
support the LGBTQ plus community. Brought to you by Chick-fil-A. It doesn't happen, right? So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think we've got a lot more to see happen yet. Mm-hmm. Is I guess what I'm trying to say.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. And because people are mentioning this in your chat room as well. Yes, look up the XKCD comment about free speech, because it applies. YouTube or an advertiser saying that they don't want their ads on your YouTube channel is not violating your right to free speech. You dumb shit. YouTube taking down your video because you're a racist shithead is not violating your free speech. It's just YouTube saying that they don't want to help you say it, you dumb shit.
They don't say it. Yeah, that's a good way. We don't want to help you say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So anyway, in lighter news, nothing matters and we're all going to die.
Eventually. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I just had to throw a little bit of nihilism in there.
Appreciate it.
So what is, we're kind of a little bit over, but I'm curious what you put this in our notes for.
Oh, so SpaceX. So yeah, with a space and an X. With a space in between the two, which is incorrect, but yeah. SpaceX.
SpaceX.
So today SpaceX managed to send some shit out into space, into orbit, and then come back down and land on I think it's called I Still Love You, or I'm pretty sure I Still Love You. I can't remember the name of the landing pad. But they landed on it, which they've done before, but the difference is that this is one of the ones they have previously set up. and this is the first time that they have successfully reused a rocket, or basically a propulsion transfer system. Essentially the whole rocket. This is the first time they've actually reused it and successfully brought it back. And that's huge. And Elon Musk afterwards, after it happened, he actually broke it down pretty clearly for those who are kind of unfamiliar with the impact of that. It's a difference between imagine if you were to take a flight and then after that flight they had to destroy the plane. And then make a new one again. Imagine
if every time you went to work you had to buy a new car.
Yeah. That's effectively what they've, for the first time, managed to begin to take steps towards eliminating that problem, which is that's the big money sink with this stuff. There's obviously money to be spent elsewhere, or sorry, now there could be money that could be spent elsewhere, whatever that might be, colonization of Mars or whatever the hell we end up doing. But it's huge, and it was actually seeing it live. Like it was linked in Discord, and usually it's like, oh yeah, they're gonna land on the rocket, but then I was like, oh no, this is one they used before, and I was like, oh, like they didn't even fucking paint it, dude. Like it looked like shit, which is awesome. and it was great because you see it come down, and then as it's coming down, like the engine's like red hot, and you're just like, I'm just thinking, oh my god, this thing's gonna melt down, it's gonna melt down, it's gonna melt down, and then the camera's cut out. Right, and then they switch to the camera on. Thank you, chat. Of course, I still love you is what it's called. The landing pad out in the middle of the water. They cut to that camera, and then as it's coming in, everyone's like, "Oh yeah!" And then the camera cuts off before you even see the rocket coming in. And then they're like, "Oh, we lost the feed, but it's okay. We'll get the feedback. We're told that it's successful." And then they finally get the feedback, and there's the rocket just sitting there chilling like it's been there the whole time. So,
conspiracy, man. It's conspiracy. I know. They cut the feed out and brought in a different rocket.
A dummy rocket. But apparently they can have other footage from other areas. But still, like, being able to witness that, it's funny. I was thinking, wow, we just made history.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh man, this fucking stupid dupe's gonna drown himself. Hold on a second. And switch back to Oxygen included. Like, it's like, here I am just doing this like menial task, like whatever, this stupid game. Or what, I could have been doing anything, and it would have been different than, when milestones like this occurred in the past, where people were like gathered around radios or gathered around TV to watch it. And I'm talking like 40 to 60 years in the past. That was the way it was then, and now it's like I'm doing all this other shit. I'm on the web. I'm editing a photo, and I'm playing this game all at the same time. Then it's like, oh, I'm also like witnessing history being made. That's fucking cool.
Yeah, definitely. Like we live in 2017 so far is shaping up to be a pretty fucking interesting year.
Yeah, we only lost Chuck Berry, really.
Yeah,
I mean, I
think it's for some good reasons and for some really bad reasons, but it's still shaping up to be a really fucking interesting year.
Yes, it is. It is. So far,
yeah. And we'll see where it goes from here, I guess, because, well, we have to, because that's how time works.
Deep.
Yeah, no, I'm super stoked for SpaceX, because like the fact that they're able to make these advances, and they're making them quickly too, dude. Like it's excuse me, there has been more advances towards making space travel economical made by SpaceX in the past couple of years than in the past like 50. It's crazy, and it's the sort of thing that means that maybe sometime before I die, we'll actually have regular, like I probably will be too old to actually survive the trip by the time it happens, but we'll actually see people regularly going to other planets. Maybe we can start to look at, like, maybe by the time I fucking die, like people will start to be looking at, can we put a colony on Mars? Can we put a colony on the moon? Can we actually live out there and survive out there? Maybe fucking Matt Damon's going to show up and shove some potatoes in the ground, and all of a sudden Mars is just going to work.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
Did you ever see that movie, by the way?
Oh, yeah, of course I did. Yeah.
That movie's fucking good.
It is great.
I liked it.
It is great. It's just basically Matt Damon just talking to himself, like, for, an hour. It's almost like Castaway in a sense.
Yeah.
Actually, it is Castaway.
Yeah, they do have a lot more of the, okay, what's going on Earth in the meantime than they did in Castaway, which was literally just Tom Hanks shouting at a fucking volleyball for like 3 hours.
But yeah, it says a lot about, like, I mean, when people like think about Castaway, you know, it was a pretty good movie. It says a lot about the actor, though, you know, to be able to basically be the guy. And the same thing with Matt Damon and doing the you know, being on Mars and talking to himself and like, I'm gonna science the shit out of this, you know, and all this stuff. That was good. That was a fun movie for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess we're probably done now.
Sure.
Thanks for podcast.
You're welcome.